Hey everyone, Darwin here, and today I'm going to show you some more custom Ninjago elemental masters I've made. So let's get down to business. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. The first elemental master we'll be talking about today's video is Rablo, the elemental master of illusion. First up are his legs, which are from Nia from the Lego Ninjago movie. Then you take this random torso. I have no idea where I found this. I bought this online. And there are some black arms with some some purple hands. Then you take this Chima looking armor piece, pop it on right there. And you give him this raven looking head from Legends of Chima. There we go. And then you give him the same head. There we go. And then you give him you clip on the wings. And these clips to the back so you can clip on the wings. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. And then there we go. And there we go. And then finally you give him this weird blade looking weapon thing. Simple looking weapon. And there we go. There's Rablo, the elemental master of illusions. So basically, Rablo is the elemental master of illusions. And before I get into the power, let me just go over his backstory. He's a raven from the Raven tribe from Chima, and he's actually the older unknown cousin of Razar. So basically, yeah. Yeah, basically his power is he can actually create illusions to like get away from people who are like bounty hunters or stuff who are trying to get him, because after all he is a wanted criminal, since all ravens in Chima are known to be thieves. So yeah. So basically, like every other raven, this guy is basically a thief. So yeah. That's it for this guy. And also, he can also actually make illusions real. Like I said, they're not just illusions; they actually become real. So yeah, this is actually a very dangerous power. So yeah, that's basically it for this guy. The next elemental master we'll be talking about in this video is Skullor, the elemental master of Undead. The legs are just these plain black legs. Then you give him this random looking sweater looking torso thing, or tracker suit, and it has some sky blue arms and some white hands on it. And then you take this quiver piece, pop it on right there, and I'll get to why. And then you give him this head from Ernesto de la Cruz from the 100th Disney series blind bags. And then you give him this black straw hat piece. There we go. And then finally his weapon. It's this bow and arrow, and you can actually slide these binoculars in there. So there. Now it looks like there's some barrels in it. Pop it on, and there is the custom elemental master of Undead. So basically, Skullor is the elemental master of Undead. And basically, if you don't know what that means, basically he can control the dead. And he can so basically he can make zombies and skeletons appear out of the ground. And basically use them as his own personal army. And then basically, if this actually happened, I wanted to become a former villain. Basically, he tried to, after the merge, he got his powers, and basically he thinks he's a freak. So now he actually wants to control. To prove that he's a freak, he decides to take over all of the merged lands with an undead army, similar to that of what happened with Thunderfang during Ninjago's Dragons Rising Season 3 Part 2. But he ended up reforming himself and realized he can actually use his powers for good and stop. So basically now he's a bounty hunter who goes around hunting bad guys and stuff. And also I use this skull printing because apparently he's a skulkin from the underworld. So yeah. Yeah, because apparently he was originally a bounty hunter, but then actually no, he was actually a warrior, but then he was disgraced in bat. He was a disgraced warrior. He was like really good with like guns and stuff. So basically, yeah, that's basically it for this dude. The third elemental master we'll be talking about in today's video is Gorfie, the elemental master of peace. The legs, I have no idea where these came from as well. A lot of these parts, I don't know where they came from. Then you take this weird Star Wars looking torso. Ooh, and then we got some gray hands and some blue arms. And then you take this silver looking shoulder pad piece. Then you add this gorilla head from Shima. There we go. And then you add the head that came with the same minifigure. And yeah, there we go. Then you give him this weapon, which is this gorilla hammer thing. And there we go. There we have Gorfie, the elemental master of peace. So basically, Gorfie is a elemental master, and he's a gorilla from the gorilla tribe in the wildness of Chima specifically. And he's actually Grumlow's, which is, if you don't know who Grumlow is, he's actually the elderly grayish gorilla. And actually, he's actually the twin brother of Grumlow. So basically, Gorfie has the element, and he's the elemental master, and Gorfie's the elemental master of peace. Basically, he like can control, can make environments and people feel really peaceful. So, and it's actually similar to nature, because it can create paradises, like watering holes and jungles and stuff. It's similar to nature and plants, but basically, but not really. So, yeah. Basically, yeah, that's basically it. And just like all gorillas, if the tower fella was cut down, he would actually get pretty mad, just like all the other gorillas. So yeah, basically that's it for this guy. The final elemental master we'll be talking about in today's video is Hedvig, the elemental master of camouflage. The legs are from a Woo Crew minifigure. Then you take this Ron Weasley, I think, torso. And then we also got some tan arms and some yellow hands. Then you take this you take any armor you wish. I don't care. This one I just found on AliExpress. Then you take a generic looking Lego City head. Then you give this stud with a hole, and then you give him this ponytail. And basically that's it. And finally you give him his weapon, which is actually an Illuma sword that he found, yeah. And yeah, basically, there he is, the custom elemental master of camouflage, Hedvig. So basically, Hedvig is actually from Umbra Sylvis. If you don't know, it's a realm. He's from the realm of Umbra Sylvis. So yeah, basically, I'll just stop with the accent. Anyways, like I said, he's from Umbra Sylvis, and basically, yeah. And he's the elemental master of camouflage. Basically, that means is he can blend in with any sort of environment. It's similar to stealth, except it's like a weaker version of it. So no, no, it's actually a stronger version of it. And it can also cause other people, and if you touch somebody else, someone or something else, you can actually camouflage it. So let's say this mech right here. He gets inside it and uses elemental power, and he in the mech actually camouflage. So basically, yeah, it's actually a really good ability when you think about it. So yeah, that's basically it for this guy. So yeah, that does it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that stuff, and I hope you guys like it. God bless you. God loves you more than anything else. So, but see ya. Peace.